Sage looks interesting though.
Hope it doesn't take too much away from the other healers. That's always the problem with MMOs, sort of, is there's really only so many ways you can heal people.
Yeah, it's kind of
Wards.
unfortunate, but yeah, they actually talked about that.
Sorry, I got way too excited there.
Wards. I mean, it is a shield healer.
Yeah, that's like I know there's discipline priests and WoW and things like that, and they've done it in various places. But I love EverQuest 2 wards. I think it's the coolest system.
No blood mage, I'm not playing.
I knew you were gonna say it. I almost said it, but I was like, I don't want to trigger him.
Never again. No other
God,
game is
dude.
as cool. See, that would be a legit.
Blood Mage would be awesome, and I think you could totally make it fit into a Final Fantasy storyline.
But yeah, they talked about that healer problem, and what they're doing is they're making Astrologian a regen pure healer, and then they're making the new one shield healer.
Well, so they got rid of the other fairy a while back, didn't they? Or
And then they said that they're differentiating between the two for like party finders and stuff.
that's cool.
That's cool.
Yep, shield healers using their shields to buy normal healers time to heal.
Yeah, the only problem with the ward system in EverQuest 2 was they never quite figured out how to manage it with aggro. So, like, if you popped a ward before the guy pulled enemies, a lot of times the healer would get, like, aggro right away. I don't know how much they've done to improve or fix that system over the years.
Yeah, you don't have that problem anymore. It doesn't give you aggro till you are on the hate list, I think.
Nice. I'll be back in a few minutes.
We did take a full rest, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting the differences in mechanics between Pathfinder and 5th edition. Like when you full rest, you don't get your hit points back. You only get like a small amount.
Yeah, that's second edition or third edition rules also, I think.
You have to use like healing stuff or
Yeah.
remaining spells to heal everyone.
Second edition was kind of a problem because, like, if you play Baldur's Gate, like, you take a full rest and you get like 2 HP, but then everybody's got like 100 or 200 HP.
Yeah.
So then you have to sit there and cast a bunch of heal spells, and you use up all your heal spells, and then you have to take another rest.
Yeah, it's like too convoluted, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem.
I like maybe a balance. Like, some people do it where it's like you have to rest, like you just expand on the resting. Like, if you're seriously injured, you have to rest for a week rather than a day. And
I think in fourth it used a different system, and I can't remember how it worked. Like, when you rested, you could use your certain amount of healing surges, and then you got like half your surges back or something when you rested. I don't remember.
With the new Pathfinder video game coming out, and you're going to be heroic. And heroic characters act differently. You get an ability that makes you, when you long rest, you get all your hit points back. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, is that what that mythic path stuff is?
Yeah, the mythic path.
Curious about that. I'm very interested in that game. The one thing about Pathfinder I don't like is like the infinite AC stacking, basically.
It's from third edition.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it anywhere at any time.
I liked that deal in third and fourth where you picked like after 10th level you picked like a special class or whatever. Paragon and Epic class.
Yeah. With what's cool about Pathfinder though is you can have a bunch of AC, but there's a lot of stuff that adds bonuses to hit though. A lot
Yeah, that
to
is
help
true.
mitigate. Especially when you're I'm happy they put the class and subclass I played in my campaign in the video game.
One's that? I know there's so many now.
The Ranger, Demon Slayer.
A lot of them that look super interesting to me. I was gonna start another Kingmaker game, but the beginning is such a slog.
Yeah, it's once you get out of the beginning, it's not too bad.
I was gonna
Just
do
go
it where I
around.
like disabled the kingdom management, even maybe. I don't know. That really took me out of it.
There's a lot of those RPG games like that. I mean, even Baldur's Gate 2 is like that. When we stopped our other game, it's still, there's still a little bit like that, and then it stops being like that for a long time, or basically the rest of the game.
I was gonna mention BG2 for that reason. Like getting into it is it's difficult for me.
It's because like you're immediately put into town questing, and it's really not that interesting.
Yeah, on top of that, your party's already like level 7 or whatever it is.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 2 is amazing. It's just there's that really bad area. I mean, if you don't mind exploring and just doing the side questing stuff, it's fine, but it's really not relevant to anything. It's just get some levels in gear and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't like draw you into the old really.
Expansion content does it much better, but by the time you hit that, you're like over 15th level.
Yeah.
I just follow the guide for the king making part. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's fair.
Plus, you get access to all those artisans that can build you stuff.
I made it pretty deep in one run, and then I lost interest, and now I do that way too often in like every game where I get so far
Right.
and then I stop, and then when I pick it back up, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do all this again.
Yeah, I'm interested to run through all of not necessarily Kingmaker, but Wrath because I played the actual tabletop version of it.
That's
I
cool.
want to see what's different and what I can remember. It's a really cool adventure. That's why I bought it mostly because I played through it and I was like, yeah, see how they translate it to tabletop.
Did the tabletop one have the army shit in it too?
Oh yeah. It was I don't know if our DM modified it or not, but it didn't do it a whole lot. It wasn't in there a whole lot.
Okay.
It was in there where it made sense, basically.
All right, we got everybody. I think Blason, you're back, right?
Here.
Hillary, Alex, you here?
Yep.
All right. So, last we left off. Oh wait. Last we left off, you guys had made your way into the town of Dirtnap, where you met the chief of the kobold people there, Muck. He gave you some information about, he called them soot dwarf kind of activity in the area. They had noticed it increasing. He put you in touch with his son, Muck Muck, the hopefully future chieftain of the people there. After a little bit of digging in some junk, finding a couple choice items, you guys ventured into the Underdark proper, where you came to a rather large cavern and were taken by surprise by some chunky bugmen dudes that attacked you in the cavern. After a little bit of a tricky fight, you guys found a camp that looked to be some sort of a battle or fight had taken place, and there was a lizard creature there. Did a little digging around and harvested some blood from the creature before making your way deeper into the caverns. As you were traveling through, you came to a sort of open cavern, and a bunch of slug-like creatures came dropping from the ceiling on people. A fight ensued that was also hit or miss for a minute there, and then everybody took a nap. Here we are. So as the what you can assume to be morning kind of kicks off here, up to you guys what you'd like to do next.
So we were able to get a full night's rest without any issues.
Yeah, tucked away and in the dome. The dome blends in pretty good with kind of the surrounding rocky area here, so it doesn't seem like anything caught your attention.
So I think all we know is that we came in through the south here, and then we did this stuff, and then we moved into this crack here, and so we haven't gone north.
Yeah, you guys
I
were
don't think
heading
we-
kind of north.
I don't think we even checked out this room out here, did we?
Not to my knowledge.
Doesn't look like there's any other way to go.
If I recall, I think we kind of walked in the room, and then we got just from the ceiling.
Slug party.
Which direction did we come from? I'm actually going to try to do a little bit of mapping. We came from the south?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we leave anything behind that was unexplored?
There was one path in the first cavern that you were in that did not go to, that led sort of to the east southeast, whereas you took one that led sort of northeast.
Okay.
You have any idea which direction that thing we're going towards? Did we have a direction, or are we just
The only
going-
direction we were given was down, but that wasn't really a necessary direction. We just kept trying to find a way which led down in the path.
Muck Muck speaks up. He says, large city within much further. I've never been, but must be deeper in, not back towards Dirtnap.
Well, I see no time like the present. We may as well carry on deeper. Has everyone got a tool or an avenue to be able to see clearly? We probably need to make sure we get these sorts of things addressed before we get any deeper.
I can probably see the farthest around, but I've been so preoccupied that I should probably be paying a little bit more attention. I can see probably around 120 feet.
And we've got Coda taken care of, right? You can see now, Coda?
Yeah, I got those goggles.
Muck Muck, is there anything nearby that I might harvest or pocket to bring back to Dirtnap for your fellow kobolds to enjoy?
Maybe tentacle looks juicy, and he points to the kind of creature with the sort that had the flailing arms. Grill it up, yum yum. I think.
Say no more. I want to pull out a dagger and start cutting into this tentacle and bring something back.
All right, it's you start to cut into it, and initially it's like it's pretty tough. It's sort of rock-like in the texture, but after 3-4 minutes of hacking away, you got a couple, probably 3-foot long tentacles that you can just throw in your backpack. Maybe 2 of them. Make a decent meal for a couple kobolds.
How big's the eye on this large tentacle creature?
That's gross.
It's probably like maybe 8 inches. It's pretty big. The creature itself is like 15 feet tall or so.
I might try to pull it out.
Just you?
Yeah.
Alright, strength check.
This will go well.
I mean, you get your fingers in there and you yank a little bit, but it seems like it's connected pretty seriously.
I thought it'd be a cool souvenir, but I didn't realize I'm really weak in comparison to most of y'all.
I'll give Valamir a nudge and see if he wants to lend you a hand. I know he's got a little extra strength to spare.
What's going on? I'm kind of looking around other way. What is he trying to do? I see him up there trying to pull the eye out.
Yeah, Let's
Really?
steam her rain.
Both my feet up too, where my feet are against the creature, and I'm pulling backward.
I grab I grab Rain and I lift him up and I turn him around and I go, why? Why do you want that?
I thought it'd be a cool souvenir.
Where are you going to put that souvenir?
Sack.
Where?
Well, it's empty.
You gonna put it in your backpack?
Just help him get the damn thing.
All right, all right.
All right, strength check if you're yanking some roper eye.
Can I use athletics?
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Yeah, it takes you a couple attempts every time. It sort of comes out a little more and more, and the last time you pull, you kind of yank really hard, and you hear kind of a sort of disgusting snapping sound, and it it pops out, and you got a, kind of 8x8 spherical red slimy eyeball. It's kind of squishy.
God.
All right. I put it in his backpack.
All right. Have a roper eye.
To be adventurous.
Never know. Somebody somewhere may want that.
I would give my life fortune for a roper eye.
Alright, so as you guys kind of look northward towards the direction you're heading, you see that while the beginning of this cavern, the path was very slim, it seems like the exit more to the north is about 10 feet wide as far as you can see.
Well, I'll travel in my typical fashion, right behind you, Falamir.
Why don't you take Rain up there with you, Falamir, and then you can use him as better, dark perception.
Well, that's what we were doing.
I think you said the word bait wrong.
All right, so if you're sort of 2x2, is Falamir carrying Rain?
He's still small enough to sit on my shoulders.
Yeah, I think he's probably done growing, and he's small enough that you can. I mean, you might bump his head if he's on your shoulders sometimes, but he ducks. Ceiling kind of through the tunnels, maybe 15 feet, and it kind of juts up and down as you're making your way. It's not consistent at all.
Keep your eyes peeled as we travel down.
Alright, so we've got Falamir and Rain in front. Who's behind them? Renee can probably behind.
So while we're traveling now, I'm gonna be periodically also looking up as we go now.
Fair deal. You guys traveling sort of like this? You are there?
Yeah,
Do
this
we
is
wanna-
good for me.
Do we want to travel in dark, or do we want to just use light?
I don't know. I think the issue is the deeper we get, the more we might make our presence known to stuff that we don't want to know we're around. In fact, we might even want to consider being more careful in how we travel and trying to sneak or be stealthy if we can.
The
I'll try to
opposite
keep.
could also be true, though, that things will not want to go near us, with light.
I'm not opposed to trying either method.
It's pro and con.
I'm brave enough to give it a shot.
And we'll just go dark.
Alright, so are you guys trying to be stealthy then as you make your way forward?
I'm going to try to be stealthy, I think.
Alright. Everyone, why doesn't everyone roll a stealth check then?
Can I just try to give advantage to Falamir since I'm on Falamir?
Or can I- Advantage with my blessing of the trickster.
Yeah, you can blessing somebody, yeah. I think you have to roll Rain, because there's a chance, you bump your head and let out a yelp or something.
Fair.
Oh, 6.
Oh, Muck.
He's a sneaky boy. So who did you give advantage to, Mischief?
Falamir?
Oh, okay.
Everybody getting 11s.
Yeah, Falamir, you.
But I have disadvantage because I'm wearing heavy armor.
Oh, fair deal.
Dun
Alright.
dun
Great roll.
dun.
So, I mean, you may or may not be quiet.
Meh.
Rain, if you're kind of keeping an eye out as you travel, go ahead and roll a perception.
Okay. I'm assuming I don't have advantage or anything with my hindsight.
No, but you can see, I'm taking into account the fact that you can see farther than average.
He's distracted
So
again.
it's-
Hmm.
I was just kind of noticing how moist my bag is with the eye in it now.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little like you could touch the bottom of it. It's like rotten fruit was in there or something. It's like it feels kind of gross.
Oh, that's what that smell was. I think I put the eye in the wrong bag.
Your cheese might not be as delicious if it
Oh
was shared in
no!
the same pot.
Why did I have three different sacks?
All right, so you guys make your way kind of 2 by 2 further through the winding caverns, and after about kind of 20 minutes of trudging, you guys come to an opening, and out in front of you, Rain, as you're looking, you can just barely, like on the opposite side of you, you can see that there is a wall, kind of maybe 100 feet on the other side of the opening from you, and then both to the north and the south, you cannot see where the cavern ends. And sort of as you're looking northward, you can see that there are quite a number of those red crystals that are kind of shining and illuminating different portions of the wall as you look north.
So is it kind of like in a Y then?
It's like here I can draw it. I mean, so you're oh, I can draw it. So if you're here, oh no,
Mhm.
if you're here, in front of you, you see a wall, and then both the south and the north, you cannot see the end, and you see red crystals kind of around the walls, kind of to the north on the sides.
Alright. I'll kind of whisper to Felmir. It looks like we kind of have two different ways we can kind of go forward, and looks like we can kind of go to the left side where you can see the huge past of glowing crystals, or we can go to the right.
Um,
So we have a left or right choice.
Anybody who's sort of near the front and is keeping an eye out can roll perception here.
Near the front being
You can roll.
okay. Oh boy.
Rain, are you rolling?
Oh, I get the roll again. All right,
Yeah, you
I'm
can
fine
roll.
with that.
Yeah, the other one was for the path that you were.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Right. So as you're kind of whispering to Falmir out of the sort of northern cavern, you can hear what sounds like armored footfalls of some kind, maybe a few sets that are, you can't see that far, but you can hear sort of echoing off the walls some sort of light footfalls to the north.
There might be something to the north. Be careful.
Are they in his
I can't.
perception? You couldn't tell which direction they were coming.
I think to the north.
It sounds like
Are they getting louder or quieter?
they're sort of staying the same. Sometimes they get a little louder, sometimes they get a little quieter, sometimes they stay the same. It seems like whatever's there isn't like actively walking towards you. You can tell.
Well, we can either go that way or go the other way.
Maybe we should decide one way to just travel by default, so we're always kind of mapping out that direction.
So we're either hugging the left or right wall then.
Or you can stay at the intersection and have someone scout one.
I don't mind moving around. I'm just not exactly the quietest.
Muck speaks up a little bit and he says, many tunnels winding within could be circles sometimes. Maybe end up where we started if we always go one way. Could waste some time, but up to you.
I actually didn't know caves could do that. That's good to know.
Well, if someone wants to go check out what those, what's causing that noise that's really stealthy, can go check if they want, and everyone else can stay here, or we can go the other way and have someone scout the other way.
I said let's investigate the noise first.
We did get a good rest if it does end up being a fight.
Alright, so are you guys splitting up? Or are you all trying to... What's the plan?
I think I'm going to scout out towards the sound by myself. Or maybe with one person if somebody wants to.
I'll swap my blessing over if you like. Take advantage on that.
Does that use some sort of a charge or anything?
I don't think
Nope.
so.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Lasts for an hour unless I give it to someone else.
Alright.
Is it not your channel divinity?
It's separate.
Oh, it is.
That's...
I'm looking.
Alright, well, if nobody's volunteering to go with Aaron, go ahead and roll a stealth with advantage whenever you are ready to set out.
There is no requirements or anything. It just does give you
Pretty
advantage.
nice.
That's pretty.
All right. I think it's alt, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, so you make your way, kind of creeping along the walls, and as you make your way into the wider cavern as a whole, you can't quite see the other side, but since Rain described it to you, you know that there is a wall kind of to the opposite side of you. But as you are inching forward to the north, you can see quite a few red crystals that are dotting the sides, mostly on the side that you're on of the wall, as you kind of hug across it. But you're able to kind of duck into little crevices as you move up, and as you make your way further in, you notice that there seems to be, it looks like maybe a patrol group. You see some ashen skinned dwarves, 4 of them, along with 2 of the lizard creatures, the corpse that you saw at the abandoned camp. It looks like they are either being controlled or like they're friendly to the dwarves. They're part of this sort of patrol party that's occasionally it walks a little down the tunnel. Occasionally they're kind of just keeping tabs here. And then yeah, actually that's all you can see for now.
So they're kind of like loitering, or
Yeah, it looks like they're probably kind of patrolling the area here. You can't see any other ways in or out of this cavern other than going north or going south. So that it looks like they're kind of stationed here, keeping an eye out, basically.
And how many did you say there were?
There are 4 of the Ashen Dwarves. They look reasonably armored, with like chainmail, and it looks like some sort of pick weaponry, like an axe of some kind, basically. And then 2 of the 8-legged lizards that are kind of crawling around. Like, there's basically 2 squads of 2 dwarves and 1 lizard, and they're sort of moving in tandem.
Yeah, I'll go back to the group and give them the info about all of the lizards and the dwarves, action dwarves.
All right, no trouble getting back.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't. There's only one way through there, and they're guarding it. So I don't know if we want to check the other way, or if we want to go talk to them. I mean, it might just end up being a fight.
I have a feeling that there won't be much negotiating down here, but maybe we should check the other path before we get started with that.
Muck speaks up. He says, "Usually, Sootdorf, no talking, just bonking."
Good to know.
No talking. Talking.
Why don't we just go the other way then?
As we kind of go, I kind of stick my hand into my eye bag and I try to get the cheese. I kind of take a little
Gross.
bit of it.
Don't eat that.
Are you looking in the bag, or are you just sticking your hand in?
I'm looking at it, but at the same time, I'm like trying to look forward. So I'm like half looking and not. I'm trying to find the cheese.
I mean, you can see the cheese in there, but it's pretty slimy now. Like the eye sort of gives off this, like, if you touch it, it's sort of like a slimy, mucusy something comes off of it, and that's kind of gotten on all of your cheese.
I'm gonna I'm gonna like kind of look around and see if anyone's watching me. And I'm gonna try to take the smallest little nibble and see what it tastes like.
All right, give me a Constitution save.
I don't know how to spell delicacy today.
Yeah.
It does not taste good, but you just managed to keep it down and kind of look around to make sure nobody saw that.
I'm gonna sadly kind of drop my cheese off on the side of the path that's just covered in the eye mucus.
Cheese hits the ground. You're cheeseless for the first time since level 1.
I'm gonna close my bag and just look sad forward. Alright, I'm good with going to the right path.
So you all traveling together now?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sneaky or not sneaky? What's your plan?
I suppose sneaky. We can try to be sneaky.
Very much try to be sneaky.
All right, stealth checks all around.
You still have advantage, Aaron.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You guys sort of kind of keep to the shadows as you move to the southern kind of entrance to the cavern. As you continue south, eventually, Rain, you see a wall in front of you directly to the south, but the cavern opens up extremely wide to the east. So essentially, you hit a wall as you're coming this way, but this way it opens up wide. Like, you can't see the other sides. You can see the walls on both sides, but they jut outward, and it looks like the cavern opens up, and you cannot see the other side. It's just darkness.
I'm gonna point out to Falmir to head that way. That kind of goes this massive opening.
All right, I follow his guidance.
And as we kind of do that, can I take a glance up? Anything is stalking us in the ceiling?
Perception check. You don't see anything that looks to be kind of squirming around or anything like that here. So as you guys make your way eastward and to this open cavern. Are you are you keeping to a specific side of the cavern? Or are you just walking through the middle? As you make it maybe 50 feet out into the cavern, essentially the walls disappear from your vision, and you're just standing in the open, basically. And you can't see, like, you can see the walls behind you and where they kind of jut back in, but out in front of you in every direction, this cavern looks to be very large. And you can, as you're listening a little bit, you can sort of hear like the lapping of water against rock. Way much farther, it's sort of echoing off the walls, and you can barely pick it up.
I'm gonna kind of lean in and not just the film. We're gonna be a little bit louder so the group can hear. We've got a lot of options here. I can't even see the walls in this place. It's really big. We can either try to kind of go towards the walls, but there's seems to be water somewhere in the distance if we keep going straight.
Muck Muck kind of perks his ear up, and he says, there is Big Lake. This could be it. Big Lake within cavern. I have heard of this.
Does anybody have any additional ability to sense where they are underground? By sound, sight, smell, noise?
No.
We're really quite the adventuring team, aren't we?
I can go in the water and be fine, but I can't do anything besides see.
Muck Muck, is it worth heading to the lake here? Is there anything there that might be of interest, or should we avoid it?
I have heard lake in large caverns. Perhaps many tunnels connect or depart from cavern. Maybe we find other paths.
The idea of an underground lake seems dangerous to me, but maybe that's the right way to go.
You know, I can actually do something that would be kind of helpful. I could cast light on a rock or something, and I can cast Mage Hand and move it around.
It's a great idea.
Are
Be
they
like a
both
movable
concentration?
I don't think so.
Ooh,
I don't think so either.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not like dancing lights. Lights is just something you poke and all of a sudden it glows.
Yep, no concentration on either one.
I figured light wouldn't have it, but I was almost certain Mage Hand did, but that's pretty cool. It doesn't.
Yeah, you can find a rock if that's what you want to do, Aaron. No problem. There's plenty of rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that just so we can like have an extended torch that can move around.
Alright, so that can be 30 feet away from you at all times if you want to sort of control it as you guys move around.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of follow the group around while using it, like moving it around like a flashlight.
That's like 80 feet of light, 40-foot radius. So you got a pretty big kind of ball of light, and depending. So are you all walking in the middle of the chamber? Have you picked a wall? How are you trying to traverse through here?
Well, first, I think just gonna use it to the light to move around and see what we can see first.
Okay, so from where you're standing, you can move like if you move the light maybe 20 feet to the south, you can see the south wall, and if you move the light kind of 20 feet to the north, you can see the north wall. It still looks like the cavern is opening up from where you are, so you might not always be able to see both walls from that distance, but for now you can see. You don't see any other paths near you right now.
Don't know where you guys want to go then.
I don't feel like I have a very good grasp of where we are down here, so I would prefer to follow in this case.
I'm fine with going straight.
Let's go then.
All right, straight through the mid.
Straight through
I
the
suppose
mid.
so.
All right. So as you're walking, Aaron, are you taking like occasionally you move the light up to the north or south and keep an eye, or are you just kind of keeping it out in front of you?
For the most part, I'm just gonna keep it straight ahead, and we're just gonna have to use our dark vision on the sides and stuff.
Okay. So you guys kind of start walking through the cavern, and you walk for a solid, 2-3 minutes without really anything sticking out at you. You're basically just walking into a void, is what it feels like. But as you're walking, you do notice the sort of the light from the mage hand, Aaron. As you're kind of looking around with it, it catches what looks like it could be a more of a large opening to the south. But the cavern also does just continue in front of you as well.
Should we divert or keep going?
The sound of the water is getting reasonably louder. It's still not like right up on you or anything, but you can definitely tell that further forward in the cavern there is water.
Let's head towards the water. We can use Aaron's light to scope out the lake as well and see if there's anything of interest.
Yeah.
So onward towards the water. You start walking again, and it takes another kind of 3-4 minutes of walking through this cavern. It seems like it is a very large space. And as you're walking, the sound of the water does begin to get louder and louder until you can see in front of you the what seems to be, for lack of a better description, like the shores of a lake. You see the lake stretches out. You cannot see the other side. You cannot see. Maybe by now you can see that the. See how. No, you probably can't make out either of the walls to the north or south, but you can see that occasionally, like dotting the banks, there are like, it looks like could be driftwood pieces that have floated here, God knows when, and just water that goes out. You can both to the north and the south is entirely water, kind of along the banks of what would be this lake.
So what do we do now? I think we've made it.
I'm okay with walking along the lake, but I feel like it could put us in a really dangerous position if we can't know whether or not it's empty or
inhabited.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just one of those things that we keep the light over the lake, maybe. Even if something sees the light, at least we'd be able to see that something.
Aaron, would you like to go fishing? I can cast prestidigitation on your lighted rock and have it let out an ooze or odor or some sparks, and we can see if anything is interested.
Oh, if we're trying to fish, I can swim.
What do we feel like today? Stink bait or something sparkly?
I don't know. Is it even something we need to worry about?
Something sparkly sounds interesting.
Well,
I like
potentially
shiny
no, but call me paranoid.
I mean, we can try.
So essentially,
I'll-
the plan is to take the rock with light, cast it on it, also cast something else on it, and then what? Like, are you throwing it into the lake, or is the hand taking it out there?
Just kind of dangling it over the water.
I make the lighted mage held hand smell terribly.
Okay, so you send it 30 foot out, and the hand just kind of bobs it up and down above the water surface.
Yeah.
All right. There's no. As far as you can see, the light does let you see below the surface. The water looks relatively clear. You can see that it is about out 30 feet where the hand is. It's about 20 feet down till you can see the bottom. But it does gradually decline as you can see the bottom, and it sort of disappears black as you look further out. But you can see that the bottom of the lake is about 20 feet down out where the hand. Other than that, nothing other than the casual lapping of, like, the lapping of the water would lead you to believe that eventually somewhere this water has to flow out of these caves, probably towards the ocean or something. But you would have no idea how far or wherever that might be.
If you all want to stop for a second, I can cast Detect Magic. That might be able to see something in the water.
I was just about to ask if we wanted to spend some time to do so.
If you want
I
to do
can-
that, I'll take a small look around where we're at.
I'll only need 11
perimeter.
minutes. Yeah,
Renee
just give me
kind of
11 minutes.
taps Mischief on the shoulder and says, "Are you guys always like this?"
Disorganized? Yeah.
I mean, it's all right. I'm just along for the ride. All right. All right. So what's the plan? You're detect magicking, Rain.
Yep.
All
I'm
right.
ritual casting it, so it'll take 11 minutes, but
All right. What is the range of detect magic? Can you link it for me?
I sure can in a second.
It's 30 or 60 feet, one of the two.
Yep, that's what it is.
Attack.
Attack.
Why does it go as an attack? Dude, I'm gonna hurt you with detection.
Yeah.
Does it even have damage, or does it just attack?
You're listening basically to the water, Valen.
Yeah, I just kind of want to spend some extra effort listening to make sure that nothing's sneaking up on us, whether it's lake bound or shore bound.
That's why I'm doing a perimeter search.
Okay, you're searching the. Are you like walking up and down the bank a little bit, Aaron?
Kind of doing more like a circle area around where we're at.
Actually, I have an idea. Y'all have the light over the water, right? And I'm assuming at this point, kind of detect magic would pop up. Do I get anything besides just what's on our party?
No, you can only see the only things that register to you are the hand, which is it's barely visible. It's like right on the edge of your range, and then the party around. Aaron, as you're kind of just circling around, keeping an eye out, you want to give a perception check as well?
You can read that.
Oh yeah. All right. So as you're kind of walking around, you don't see anything around you, but you do hear just like a very faint sort of rumbling noise, or as you focus like on the ground, occasionally you can see like very small pebbles that will kind of move a little bit and then come to rest but that's all you can notice.
Well, I'll let everybody know about that and suggest we might need to start moving. Do we have any idea where we need to, which direction we need to go? Just start going one way.
Muck, do you have any ideas on which tunnels or direction to take from the lake?
I have heard that lake is near Dirtnap, and Dirtnap that way, and he points back sort of the way that you came. So maybe up, good. Up, take us deeper.
Sounds like maybe we have our heading.
All right.
Right. You guys are grouping up, heading north, or up.
Yeah.
Direction's sort of irrelevant, and I don't know
Yeah.
if any one of you could have kept track, honestly.
I tried and didn't make it very far, but up is good with me.
All right. So Mukmuk sort of, you can tell he has a little bit of a bearing, but he hasn't personally traveled here, and this is probably the extent of the advice he can offer on directions to go once you're past this point. So are you're same order? You guys are going north along the riverbank?
Yeah.
Okay.
As we're kind of going, like, I'm assuming we're still kind of side by side with the water.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, I'm going to make a little water tentacle kind of appear out of the water and then vanish. And then kind of appear and then vanish kind of within just a little distance as I can shape water as a cantrip.
Okay. So as you're kind of making your way north, it takes a minute or two, and as Rain is casually doing this, Aaron, you start to notice that every time Rain makes a water tentacle, you can sort of see and hear that slight rumbling again. But as you guys keep going north, it takes you a minute of walking until. Are you? Do you have the mage hand out in front of you guys now, or is it still over the water?
Generally in front.
Okay, so you can start to see the edge of the. You can see the wall that's coming up to you to the north, and you can see path that leads off and continues north. And if anyone in the front wants to roll perception. So, like, Aaron, Rain, Valamir, Valen.
Perception checko.
Yep.
Yep, about on par.
All right, so Aaron, you notice as you're kind of looking out over the water next to where the tunnel leads further to the north, you can see about maybe 80 to 100 feet up and like 60 feet out. It's barely illuminated by the light of your hand now. It looks like there's some sort of like an opening in the what would essentially be the cliff face of the wall, out over the water, but up significantly of it.
How is that situated?
I'll bring
Like-
back my drawing. Go. All right. So I can do. So you're walking this way, and the water's over here.
Can't see anything because it's all
Yeah.
dark.
Oh shit! I'm drawing on the out of the map.
Yeah.
Okay. Going down here to draw. So you're walking
Okay.
up, and the water's over here, and then you see a tunnel that is on the ground that leads this direction, and then out
Right.
over the water. Oh,
It's live, it moved.
out over the water, maybe 60 feet out or so, right at the edge of your light, you can see an opening that's about like 80 to 100 feet up in the side of the wall, basically. That's elevated.
Okay.
So you can see an opening out over that. You can't see further than that, but you see that there is an opening up there.
It's quite a ways up then.
60 feet, about a rope's length. You gather.
So I don't think we can do much with that unless someone wants to check it out. They can get up there.
I do have some pieces to a climber's kit if we're determined to check that out.
Don't we have a druid?
Doesn't Mischief have a ring of jump?
I can only use it on myself.
Well,
I could give you the ring to jump with it.
if it gets
Yeah.
you far enough, you could secure a rope somewhere.
How high up is it? If we had a
Looks to
guesstimate.
be about a length of a rope. Like a solid 50, 60 feet.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to jump that high.
As you kind of look at the walls, Falmir, they seem to be a little bit like slick as water kind of splashes from them on the bottom, but it seems like if you needed to, you could probably find some handholds and things to climb.
Okay.
But you also do have a druid, as was stated.
So yeah, I guess I could turn into a spider and climb up there.
That's probably the best bet.
See, do I have it?
Oh,
Oh yeah, you have it. Perfect. All right, so your Coda goes
ability.
spider mode, and you're climbing up to the opening.
Yes.
All right, so
Does that like replace the stats or anything?
no, you have access to like the giant spider sheets and stuff, Alex. Not give this.
I don't think I do.
It should be in the.
Oh, now I do.
There-
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you
think
can
those
see
were there
the
before.
you can see the spider stats and stuff there, and all the abilities and things. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
So as you're climbing up, give me a perception check, as it doesn't take you very long to just skitter up the side of the wall towards the opening.
Did we give him a rope to take with him as a spider?
I mean, he can come back and get it if he wants.
That's fair.
Isn't it at like an hour or something?
Shaped.
I'm actually looking.
I think it's like hours per level or something.
All right. So you get up to the ledge of the opening, and it looks like it's maybe like a 10 by 10 opening as you get up into it, and you can see you get up onto the ledge of the opening, and you can see that it's sort of like a small, for lack of a better term, like room, like a small cavern that's sort of hollowed into the walls. And you can see that sort of on the far end of the room, maybe 30, 40 feet in, that there's like what looks to be a small body or something it's slightly moving. It doesn't look dead, but it is. You can see it on the far corner of the room.
what kind of body? Is it humanoid or something different?
You're not there.
Oh, yeah, good point.
All right. I guess I will. Secure a rope so that other people can come up.
All right, so you climb back down.
Yeah.
All right. As he's climbing back down, Aaron, you notice sort of the rumbling again, basically. It's not any more louder, or it doesn't sound like it's any closer to you, but you're noticing that sort of whenever anybody either disturbs something around the water, you sort of hear it, and you see the pebbles moving a tiny bit. All right, you have no trouble grabbing a rope, and you probably need, if you're putting the rope from the shore to the opening, you probably need 2 lengths of rope.
I've only got one, so someone else is gonna have to provide some rope.
Can a spider do something with silk or something?
You got webs.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, you can web it up if you want. You just shoot a
Yeah,
web up there from the shore, or what? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
All right, you got no trouble. Let's see. So the web has 60-foot range. So you can shoot out. It takes you maybe a minute or two to get enough of an amount that you think that someone could use to climb. Essentially, you guys have like a web tightrope sort of that you can walk, that's attached to the ground on the shore, and then attached to the edge of the cavern up above the water.
Well, I'm gonna go up. I want to climb the rope / web and make it up on the cliff.
All right, so give me an acrobatics check, I'm assuming is what you'd want to do to climb.
Yeah.
All right, you're able to, since the web, you're not accustomed to the web, you move pretty slowly on it, but you're not really worried about time here, so you don't have an issue making it up. Takes you, 45 seconds, a minute or so to kind of climb your way up to the ledge. And as you get up to the ledge, you see the same thing that Coda did. That there's some sort of body or something that is slumped in the corner. Can't make out.
I'd like to approach it stealthily.
Stealth check. All right. Anyone else coming up after Valen, or anyone doing?
You can
anything?
re-roll that if you want.
He's more than 30 feet from you if you're still at the base.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on the water and stuff. My flashlight.
Okay. Is anyone else following up after Valen, or letting him go alone?
Were you gonna stay down here then for a bit, Aaron?
Yeah.
All right, I'll head up then. I was hoping me or you would stay down and be the last to come up.
I mean, if Elmir goes up, I'm going up with him since I'm on him.
All right, it's going to be harder for you to climb if you're doing so with rain on your back, Valamir. But
Yeah, but I'm gonna climb it where I can use athletics, so
Yep.
I'm gonna climb where I wrap my feet around and then kind of scurry up that way.
there you go. All right. Actually, I'll have you make a athletics check too, Rain, to see if you can hold on to him as he is climbing upside down on a rope.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, see what I get.
Do I get Coda since I'm so close?
Oh no.
I mean, I'm gonna say
It's up to you.
no, because it's not like you would lose your grip right away. You'd make it a ways out. You're strong, but you just with rain on your back, so you're climbing upside down, and you start to essentially rain falters for a second with his grip on you, and in trying to re-grab you, he grabs your neck, and you start choking you a little bit, and you lose grip, and you fall. You're probably 40 feet up at this point, and you're above the water, so you fall straight down into the water, and there's a huge splash. And as this happens, Aaron, you notice the rumbling much louder now, but you don't see anything yet. You just hear that it is definitely picking up.
Can I tell? I can't tell where it's from or anything.
Well, you can see that the surface of the water as it calms down after they splash into it, and you guys are only maybe 15 feet deep in the water, so you can.
Can I see anything in the water? Actually.
You can see out into the water, and let me see.
Because I can stay underwater.
Right. You do not see anything around you out of the ordinary in the water, but as the water calms down as they fell in, Aaron, you can see that sort of the surface of the water is essentially rumbling along with the rocks and the dirt. And you can, why don't you roll a perception check for me, Aaron? All right, you're able to tell that the source of the noise seems to be coming from a ways out, like across where you can't even see the other side, but it's originating from farther, like across the lake almost on the far side of it. You can see that the ripples are sort of much larger coming from out there, and they're coming in where they sort of become smaller.
All right. I'm gonna tell him to get out of the damn water.
He's gonna be laughing a little bit as he kind of comes out with Falmy.
All right, so you have your swim speed is your move speed, right, Rain, or no?
Oh, it's 40. It's faster than my move speed.
Okay, so
I swim faster than I move naturally.
All right, so you are able to get out in one turn, and Falamir, it takes you essentially 2 turns because you only move half your move while you're swimming, I believe is the rule. Okay, so it'll actually take you 3 turns then, because your move is 30.
I'll stay back with Falmir until he gets out, though.
Okay, so as Falamir makes his way in, Valen, you notice, you make your way to the humanoid form that you can now see. It's much smaller than a normal human, but maybe slightly smaller than Rain, about the size of Coda. Go ahead and make a perception check if you want to take a closer look. And then as Falamir, you're making your way, Aaron, pretty much every time Falamir takes a stroke in the water, you hear the sound growing louder and louder. You don't see anything yet, but you're starting to become concerned. Valen, you notice that the
So wait, where's Rain? Is he out?
He can get out whenever he wants. He's swimming next to Falamir, he said. You see Valen, what would be described as sort of a gnomish looking humanoid with sort of darker skin. The creature is covered in what looks like it used to be clothes that are sort of rags now, and you can see what look to be burns or scars on the creature's skin, and it is unresponsive. You can see slight movement occasionally, but its back is to you. It is like essentially in the fetal position against the wall.
Oh.
And at this point, you all can hear the rumbling, and that it is coming from across the lake, basically. And you can see the water moving and everything.
So you said, did you say this was like a dark elf kind of?
Gnome.
Gnome,
Yeah.
okay, gnome. And it's still alive, but is it passed out?
You haven't checked. You can't see its face or anything. You can just see
Okay.
occasionally like twitches or like sort of a light rocking.
cowering.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can hear occasionally like a, like just a.
Okay.
What is everyone else up to as they can now sort of hear this all unfolding? Let's start with Mischief. What are you up to?
So, can we tell the source of the sound? Is it coming from the water?
You cannot see far enough out to tell if it's the water or the walls or even the ceiling or the ground. You can just tell that it is coming from the direction, essentially, like if you are standing on the northwestern kind of bank of the lake, it's coming from somewhere to the southeast.
So I'm just gonna have the light like as far out as possible towards where I think it's coming from.
Okay. Coda, what are you doing with your spidiness as all this is going on?
I guess I am just looking at the webbing bridge type thing that I made, ensuring that it's staying intact.
Okay, it seems to be stable. You're keeping an eye on it essentially to reinforce it if it was to falter, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So Falmir,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I'm gonna prepare bless in case something attacks us.
Okay. No problem. So you start readying a spell. Falmir, at this point, you are able to reach the edge of the water and get out. Rain, are you getting out as he gets out, or are you staying in?
I'll stay in for a second just to see. Being in the water, does it feel like the water, like deeper in the water that's vibrating? Because usually when it vibrates, you can kind of feel it from a point within water, or does it feel
Yeah.
like it's beyond that?
You can't tell if it is in the water itself or beneath the water in the ground, like below on the
Mhm.
lake floor or whatever. I can't. There's a word for the bottom of a lake, right? Maybe not. Whatever.
Yeah, lake bed maybe, but
lake bed?
not really.
Sure, the lake bed. You can't tell if it's from the water or from below the water in the ground, but you can tell that it is either one of those. It is not above the water, like in the walls or anything. And you can feel it, like the vibrations as whatever's happening is happening.
Alright, and I'll kinda, at that point, then I'll get out with Falmir.
Alright. As we kind of continue here then, Falmir is out, rumbling is still happening, Aaron's looking out with the mage hand. What do any of you want to do as we sort of do the next kind of pseudo round here?
So if this is what this little map thing's kind of what we're doing here,
Mm-hmm.
why don't we duck into the tunnel here so that we're hidden from whatever's coming?
All right, most of you are concentrated enough around Aaron that you can hear him, and Val, and you're kind of on your own up there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Renee speaks up and says, "Sounds like a pretty damn good idea. I am freaking out."
Yeah.
And she goes to move towards the tunnel as well. Is everybody following Aaron's suggestion? Anyone doing anything different other than Valen?
Get out of the water and head that way.
Alright, so as you get up out of the water and head towards the tunnel, Aaron, you kind of look back to make one last check of your light and your mage hand combo, and you can hear that the rumbling is getting louder and louder at this point, and like to the point where it is like earthquake levels of rumble, and you see like parts of the tunnel that you're going into, like pebbles and rocks begin falling. They're not like huge rocks, but you can see like this is shaking this cavern And as you're turning to run out of the water, you see like a large, like gigantic purple serpent creature come out and with open jaws snatch at the light of your mage hand.
Cool.
The old,
That wasn't my tentacle.
the old purple worm.
So everybody other than Valen has made their way into the tunnel. Are you guys trying to essentially hide in the tunnel? What are you doing when you're in there?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna hide for now. See what it
Alright.
does.
Stealth checks for everybody in the tunnel, and Coda, you make sure you roll the stealth with the spider's dex. So it's just a dex check from the spider, I believe.
Has it been an hour since we entered this like pathway?
No, not quite. You've got like half an hour left on your blessing.
Okay, so Aaron, you still have advantage.
Oh. I guess I'll roll again. Okay, so 26 still.
All right, Valen, let's have you make a. I'm assuming you're paying attention to all this that's going on as you're sort of examining this creature. You can make a stealth roll if you'd like to. Well,
Actually, I don't know. I think I'm more interested in paying more attention to this creature, so I might be not totally tuned into what else is going on.
there
How
is a
far away is
literal
he from us?
earthquake happening. Like there's like a rock falls and hits you on your head as you are like looking at
All
this
right, then.
creature.
How far away is he from us?
The creature or Valen?
Valen.
Valen is, what is it? It's 80 feet up and 60 feet out. He's probably like overall 150, 200 feet away from you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so you all kind of, and the noise hasn't stopped yet, and you can see as the creature came up to bite at the mage hand, like water splashes up and displaces like way into the cavern. Like essentially a large wave is produced that sort of washes the area that you were standing in and kind of laps up at the entrance to the tunnel. So you all kind of put your arms out and against the wall and try and be quiet, don't make too much noise. And you can hear the creature is it's just sort of retreated. It essentially leaped up to grab the thing and is sort of resetting itself. And it's just, as far as you can tell, being still currently. Wait for 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
So I'm guessing it ate the hand.
You cannot control your hand anymore. No, you don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like it is gone along with the
Does-
light.
Does it have a bad taste in its mouth?
It might like it.
Stinky hand.
Yep. He's got somewhere in the worm's stomach is a stinky glowing rock. So you wait 20 seconds. You hear some more rumbling, quite loud, but it seems to be going away from you. Wait 10 more seconds. You can hear it. Just sort of it's the sound of moving earth and the water kind of reverberating that you can see that had lapped up. And it seems to be traveling away. 10 more seconds farther away.
Alright, so is Coda with us then?
Yeah, everyone
Or-
except
okay.
Valen is in the tunnel with you guys.
Alright, well, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I like this place anymore.
It's fine.
No harm, no foul, right? Renee says.
Mm-hmm.
That entire time, Rain was hugging onto the slimy eyeball.
Your robes and I don't know, you wear robes or like leather? Whatever it is slammed.
I wear both.
Yeah, you are covered in slime, and you notice as you've been kind of gripping the eyeball. The eyeball is smushed and flattened against your chest now. It's sort of like a pancake. Slimy eye pancake.
Probably should check on Valen and make sure he's fine, and then have to be careful about making too much noise.
All right, Valen, as everything kind of calms down, you have a moment to... You didn't notice the creature make any sort of movement or even process what was happening as all that was going on.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to, if I feel safe enough, I'm going to try to rouse the creature and make sure it's all right.
So you like go out to touch the creature.
Mm-hmm.
As you reach out your hand and touch sort of the back of the creature, it like shudders really quickly, and I mean it isn't moving still. You don't know if it's essentially conscious or not, or if that was just a reaction to pain, basically. Because you can see the burns, as you look at them a little closer, they look like they could be like acidic. It doesn't look like fire. It looks like something was eating away at the skin of the creature on their arms and on their back.
Okay. I am going to try to heal it.
Okay.
Oops. I accidentally crit rolled that.
Roll it again. All right. As you kind of manifest the healing energy and reach out towards the creature, some of the wounds on its back and arms seem to close up a little bit, not entirely at all, but as they do and the energy goes into the creature, you hear and he sort of shudders and turns around slowly to look at you, and you can see that it is akin to a gnomish creature with just darker skin, kind of akin to how you've seen, or well, I guess you haven't seen any Durgar at this point, so never mind. But like a darker skinned gnome, sort of ashen skinned.
I speak up and just tell him to be careful and not to overexert himself. He looks very injured. Ask if he's okay.
Yeah. Better now. Thank you. Just a moment. And his eyes kind of flutter, and he passes back out again from what you can imagine is pain.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna walk out towards the ledge that I had climbed up on to get here, and am I able to see any of the party? Are they within sight?
Has anybody poked out of the tunnel yet? You can't see them.
Okay.
As you look down into the water from where you are, you can see out 30 feet or so from the edge, there's a gaping hole, like 20 feet wide hole in the bottom of the lake.
What's happening to the water in the lake because of the hole? Is it draining?
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
There's a very large volume of water. You might not be able to tell, but you don't know if it's draining or it's not.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ryan?
I'm gonna just stay with this gnome for a bit and see if I can't help support him and help him recover.
All right. What are all you guys in the tunnel up to?
I wonder if it's safe to come out.
I'm gonna
Well-
slowly peek with my pancake eye.
Coda, why don't you go up there and check on him?
I go up and check on him.
I'm looking the other way down the tunnel.
Okay. Out in front of, you can see further down the tunnel, just on some of the sides, as it was akin to the other path that you guys didn't go down. Further down the tunnel, you can see some red crystals that sort of dot the sides of the tunnel and give off some light, but you can't see farther down the tunnel. Really, you don't see anything immediately dangerous. Coda went up towards Valen. That's right.
Yep.
Okay. You get up there and you see him tending to the humanoid creature, and as you approach, the gnomish creature's eyes open and get extremely wide as he sees a giant spider approaching from behind, and suddenly, Valen, you're pushed out of the way, and he goes, "Look out!" And he rolls. And he produces an axe, a pickaxe-looking weapon, and he's not standing yet, but his back is against the wall, and he's brandishing an axe towards Coda.
No, please. This is a friend of mine. I assure you, you're in no harm.
I can't trust you, and he's gonna try and lunge for Coda with a pick.
All right. Well, I'll try to step in between. Coda,
All right.
drop your spider form. Show this guy that you're not a foe.
What's your AC, Valen?
Let me see. 14.
All right. The pick connects with your arm, and you take 4 damage.
Okay.
But that was essentially his only energy, and he kind of slumps forward again as he struck out.
Save your strength. We're not here to harm you.
Coda still a spider?
Yeah, I accidentally refreshed the page.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. Wait, you are still a spider?
No, I'm not a spider.
Okay. No problem. He looks back up again and sees a... you're a halfling or no? You're okay. He realizes you're not a spider, and he sort of shakes his head and blinks his eyes like maybe it was his mind that was playing tricks on him. And he says, "My apologies. It's been a rough day. I appreciate your aid. I don't know if I'd have survived much longer."
It's all right. You've been through a lot, it seems. Please tell me, how did you become so burned? What did you encounter? Are you all right?
Allow me some time to collect myself, and then we speak.
My friend is a druid. I'll ask for his help to help salve your wounds.
Yeah. I guess I could cast Cure Wounds on him. Oh wait, not Cure Wound. Healing Word on him.
Okay, go ahead and roll one. Alright, you cast a little healing energy towards the creature. And as he's sort of trying to recollect himself, he's starting to look a lot better. You can see that where there were open burn wounds, basically they are closed over and more looking akin to scars at this point.
I'm not going to say much to him until he has a chance to rest and recuperate a little bit. Coda, why don't you continue to look after him, and I'll go back out to see if I can communicate with the rest of our group.
Sounds good.
So I make my way back towards the ledge to see if I can see anybody yet.
Anyone else coming back out of the tunnel?
I'm slowly moving out.
Alright,
Me too. I'm keeping my eyes toward the inside though.
Okay. Roll a perception check, Mischief, as you're kind of making your way back. Alright. You make your way out of the tunnel, followed by Rain, Renee, and Muck Muck. Falamir, you popping out of there too?
Yeah.
So
and
I'm
Harry
going
as
to
well.
communicate telepathically so that I don't make any extra noise or rouse or disturb that giant worm, and just let. I see Rain first, so I'll send him a message.
Say. Unless you're typing it, then type away.
I did type it, just so you know.
Okay. Did you say that out loud, Rain?
So as the rest of the group comes out, I kind of relay some messages to them as well. Effectively, I've let them know that Coda and I are attending to this dark gnome that we found up here that was near death.
As you guys come out of the tunnel, you notice that it seems like the web rope snapped when the worm displaced all the earth and water.
So is the
Did
rope,
we have
like,
to combine
floating
two
around?
ropes?
No, you
No.
just used web. You didn't even use a rope.
Okay, so I have a rope. I can attach it to something up here and throw it down.
Yeah, I've got 150 feet of rope that has been carrying on me. If you just put down 30, I can teleport, and then let down the other 30 if you need me to.
So essentially the way it works is if he drops the rope, it will go down into the water. It needs to be at a diagonal to the shore to get you guys up.
I see that. Never mind.
But you secure the rope, Val, and you find a stalagmite that's beefy enough, and you kind of tie it around it.
Every time I think of those things, I always think of the monster ones.
For sure. Except
Big
for
ol'
the times we
mouths.
actually encountered them and forgot to look up.
Yeah.
Oh. So you have a dangling. You said 30 feet or 50 feet, Valen?
30 feet.
All right. There is a rope that is dangling 30 feet off of the ledge that Valen is standing near.
I guess I'll mage hand grab it.
There you go. All right. That's no problem at all. Well, so you still need to. So essentially, he's. What? How much distance was it?
So we have to tie it.
Yeah, so it's still 30 feet into the water as the mage hand is carrying it, because he was 60 feet out and 80 feet up.
Oh, so I couldn't do it that anyways, because it's only 30 feet range.
Oh, true, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna walk back in the cavern. Coda, do you have any rope on you?
1 second. Yeah, I have 50 feet.
All right, give me that, and I'll see if I can attach it to the link I've already secured.
Okay.
All right, you tie that to the other end of the rope, and now you can do the mage hand stuff, and you can reach it out to the shore to you guys. I don't know if the math actually checks out on that, but it's just a fuck.
It's D&D math. It checks out.
Yep. All right, so you got a rope. What are you doing with it?
So we got it all tied up and everything, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
The
essentially back to the state that it was when it was a web. Like it is traversable.
all right. By the way, Valen, did you see any way to go up there, or what? Is it just the guy up there?
Well, actually, I was just about to go explore the area a little bit more, but then I thought maybe I should stay by the rope in case I need to assist anyone coming up. I have not explored the cavern very well yet because my attention immediately was drawn to this near-death gnome. I would like to do that, but I think I'll stay here in case you guys are coming up, just in case you need any extra assistance. I can make sure that the rope stays secured.
As you glance around, Valen, after being posed the question, you do see that it doesn't necessarily look like a tunnel, but you can see like a crack in the rock on the far end of the cavern. It's only like a 20 by 20 space that you're in, and the far wall has a large crack in it that looks like could be traveled through.
Can I investigate the crack to see if there's any extra information or anything I notice?
Sure. So you go into it, or
Yeah, I'll poke a hand and a head in there.
okay, you can squeeze through it. Definitely, you could fit people through it, one at a time for sure. It'd be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but you kind of shimmy in and peek through, and you can see that it seems to open into what might be a tunnel on the other side. You don't go all the way through, but you see that there is more area beyond the crack.
So the gnome didn't come up the way that we did, or at least I assumed that he didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the party as much.
Yeah, and you can see as you're investigating the crack some sort of scraps of cloth that look like they might have been part of his clothing as he was injured as he made his way through the crack.
You said cloth and not burnt skin.
Yeah,
That's
not
what I
that
pictured.
Vulgar, but yeah, there's some of that too. All right, he relays that with the telepathy.
Well, assuming you make your way up there, I guess.
Who's going up?
Okay, I guess I'll do it. I'll go up there.
All right, acrobatics or athletics, your choice. I'm assuming everybody's being super careful this time.
Oof.
Give me a
Ooh.
dex save.
Oof.
You are about halfway up and you slip and you reach out and try and grab the rope, but you fall into the water. And as you fall in, you keep completely still for a second, and you don't feel it. Hear anything? You are wet.
Guess I'll swim out of there.
All right, you got no trouble. I won't make everybody able to climb the rope. It seems like no one can. You are allowed to climb your rope. Everybody can make it.
Okay.
So who wants to climb the rope? Who is all going up to the cavern?
Are we all heading up there?
I
Was that
guess
the
so.
plan?
I'm gonna very delicately try to wash myself off in the water, like making as little bit of a movement as possible, trying to get all the goo off me from squishing my eye. And I'm gonna slowly let the eye float away.
No.
You don't know if you splashed water in your eye or a single tear comes down as you watch the eye float, but you're clean.
I'm gonna need a new souvenir now. Then I'll go climb the rope afterward.
All right. Sufficient help. Everyone's able to make their way up. If you
After
choose
like
to.
another 10 times falling into the water.
Yeah, it's been a chunk of time through the cavern and up and down the rope and worms crunching stinky rocks and the gnome seems to be regaining health, and as everyone kind of makes their way up, he is surprised at the volume of people that keep coming up this rope into the cavern. But he's sort of keeping to himself, sitting against the wall of the space.
So did you get his name?
I haven't got his name yet because he's been so weak and frail.
I believe I am well enough to have a conversation now. Who are you, and why do you come to our home?
I'm Valen, and these are a few of my companions. We're adventurers. We're looking for a magical artifact or relic that we believe somehow got to this area. I don't know if you have, if you say this is your home, perhaps you've experienced some sort of magical disturbance or anything significant that might have changed in the last few weeks to months.
All of these tunnels are our home. No disturbances out of the ordinary, but we keep away from the Durgar. We are
So what?
simple folk. Grow our food and hunt for gems and trinkets. We simply wish to survive.
What's your name, and what caused you to become so heavily injured?
You may call me Belwar. Can figure. I am Belwar of the Sverfneblin. Which is the race of the Gnomes. They're most of it. I am not at liberty to discuss my people or our situation, as we do not wish to be disturbed. We have survived for a very long time, keeping out of the eyes of aimless wanderers.
Well, what did you encounter that damaged you so badly? Can you tell me that much at least?
Many creatures and the like. Was some type of a ooze creature, some black tar-like mass that descended upon me from above. I was searching for gems and trinkets, and pile of bone in a cavern.
Was it back that way? And I'm pointing down one of those cracks.
Yes, it was. There are many caverns and tunnel systems beyond that crack. They are our main way of traversing the tunnel systems. You have done me a kindness, and so you seek an artifact. Do you know any more about this? We are wise to such things.
I might have some extra notes. Let me review the information that I have.
The most I got written down is it's linked to the Durgar and it's causing the Durgar to go to the surface.
Well, without you, I would no longer be breathing. I believe, while it is not something we normally do, perhaps our den mother may know more of what you speak. She is wise. Perhaps I can lead you to our village, only if you are to give your word that you will never speak its location to any outsider.
I don't have any objections with that. Will you be able to bring all of us, or will that cause you some issues? We don't want to cause trouble for you either.
If you each give your word, they may not be happy, but I believe it is okay. I cannot speak for the village. They may not welcome you warmly, but you will at least be granted an audience with our den mother, on my word.
I look around to the party, but I'll look back to Belwar, and I agree. I'm reasonably confident that my colleagues will agree too, but I'll let them speak for themselves.
Can you all make this promise?
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
I
Sure.
can agree to these acceptable
Okay.
terms.
Do you have cheese?
I know not of this cheese. What is this?
I feel sad for these people. We have to go now.
Do you agree, Green One?
Oh, yeah.
He nods. He says, then I shall lead you to Glowstone Village. He actually just begins kind of shimmying through the crack.
All right, follow.
Alrighty. So you walk for, there are a number of different sort of tunnel systems that branch off of this main path that he leads you down. And from what you can tell, as you exit the crack, you go straight for quite a while, maybe 15 minutes of walking before turning right and then traveling for maybe 15 more minutes down another tunnel. As you're traveling, where normally you would see the sort of red crystals occasionally that give off light, you see large sort of toadstool mushroom caps that glow, occasionally dotting the path, and you can see occasionally Belwar stops and looks, and depending on which type of mushroom you think he's examining, like down one path there's a different type of mushroom, and down the path that you're traveling it's all the same type of mushroom. So he examines the mushrooms, picks the one that you've been following, and he continues down the path. Come after the 15 minutes of walking, you notice as you are passing through, you see a cavern on each side of you as you're continuing sort of southward. And within...
Is it really?
Go ahead.
Is it really obvious what kind of mushroom it is?
You would be able to remember it and pick it back up, yeah, with your knowledge. Yeah, as you're walking, continuing south, you see on both sides of you caverns open up, and within these caverns you can see hundreds, if not thousands, of mushrooms, and the caverns glow like incredibly bright. Like you can see the walls illuminated on both sides. Occasionally you see similar humanoids to Belwar that seem to be either harvesting or caring for the mushrooms, cultivating them in some way. And he leads you past those caverns further down the path for an additional 10 or 15 minutes still as you're kind of trudging through these. The cavern's never larger than 10 by 10, and occasionally the taller of you guys have to duck your heads because it is not human size. It is they're gnomish sized tunnels, and while they are bigger than normal some places, they aren't terribly high. So as you continue walking, you finish the journey, and you come upon the tunnel ends and the cavern opens, and you see huts, they look like, but they appear to be made out of like hollowed out large, like incredibly large, think like redwood trunk mushroom stems that have been carved out on the inside, with the tops that remain intact to function as roofs. And you see various buildings. Like this is a pretty sizable village. Maybe 25, 50, somewhere in that neighborhood. Buildings that kind of dot the whole cavern. And in particular, you can make out one of the mushroom huts sort of in the center of town has different gems and jewels kind of pressed into the sides of the mushroom, sort of giving it a jeweled impression. And he leads you to that structure as you kind of look around through the town. And you can see there are other Sverfneblin in the area here, but none of them, like most of them, if they look at you, they kind of give you the evil eye as you're passing through, but Belwar gives them a reassuring nod as he kind of shepherds you guys forward. He stops at the front of the hut and he says, "All right, this is the hut of our den mother. Who will speak for you?" Around.
That would be your savior, Valen.
Do you speak for these people, Valen?
Yes.
Okay.
Good to make your acquaintance. I understand that you guys aren't particularly welcoming to visitors, but we did want to make sure that Belwar got home safely, and he agreed that since we aided him in a moment of dire need, that perhaps you could assist us with
Hold
our
on.
journey in the Underdeep.
You know you're still
Underdark.
talking to Belwar, right? Yeah.
Oh no, I thought he had introduced us. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, he pushes he knocks twice on the. It's like you can imagine a giant mushroom stem. He knocks on it, but it's sort of a dull knock. It's not like knocking on wood. But he knocks twice and pushes the door open, and he beckons you in, Valen.
As he leaves, I put my hand on his shoulder and give him a guidance.
All right, you are guided, sir.
Okay.
As the door opens, it's not a big building or anything by any means. Inside is maybe 15 by 15 feet. There's a low kind of burning fire in the middle, and behind the fire, an older looking dark skinned gnome sits with kind of shoulder length white hair, a couple wrinkles on her face. She looks to Belwar as you enter, and she exclaims a bit. She says, "Belwar, why have you brought outsiders here?" And he stops for a moment. He says, "Please, please, I'm Karti. This man, he saved my life. They are here to potentially help with the Durgar problem." And he looks to you, Valen. He believes they possess some artifact that they are looking for. And because he saved my life, I offered him an audience with you. He has made the promise not to reveal our location.
So, from what I gathered, it's just him in there.
Yeah, the door's open. Like it's, you guys can pretty much go in if you want. But he led Valen in. It's not like it's they don't have. As you look around here, you do not see any of the Sverfneblin that you have noticed. None of them have weapons. You haven't seen like guards of any type. So you pretty much, and none of them are. You can't really see any as you look around here. That seems like they are keeping away from you guys as you walk through. Does anybody else wish to go in as Valen's introduced? I'm Karti, this is Valen. Perhaps you may aid him with information in exchange for him saving my life. This is a dangerous move, Belwar. But if he saved your life, he must have a good heart, and we will honor your request. She looks to you, Valen, and says, "Valen, is it? What do you seek? Welcome to whatever the name of my village is." 1 second. Glowstone Village.
Write that down.
I'm Karti Kobaltai, the den mother of these people.
She has a hard time with memory and just looked at her hand. It's got it.
Yep.
Thank you for having an audience with me. I understand that this is not a very conventional meeting for you. However, we wanted to make sure that Belwar could make it home safely, and when speaking to him, I explained the nature of our business in the I just spaced. Underdark?
You got it.
If you have experienced any recent changes with the Duger, if they've been more aggressive or been going through caverns or areas that they weren't accustomed to before, we think that they could be in possession of a magical artifact that we're in search of, which could be causing them to be more aggressive.
Yes, I know much and more of this recent brazen travel into various territories of the Underdark, they become bold behind their new leader, or the one that they must follow now.
Do you know if they have a new leader? Maybe, perhaps that leader might have found or come in contact with the item of power that we're looking for, and that's how they came to power themselves.
I know not of their deal, only of what they speak. They speak of a mind snake. His name, Reglash the Unforgiving. He has recently subjugated the Durgar people. So she referred to the creature as a mind snake.
Okay.
She has learned the name. Sure. Which is... I fear that his recent subjugation of the Durgar people could perhaps spread to our people should they be allowed to linger within our tunnels.
I see.
This snake or creature, I know not of what he is, only of what they speak, is a problem that must be dealt with.
Rest assured, myself and my traveling companions, I think, are going to cross paths with them in search of the artifact we seek. I don't know, Amkarti, if you are at all familiar with Cloud Castle or the Arcane Eye, but the business we're doing is in aid of them.
My knowledge extends deep underground, but not to the above world where you trek. I know not of what you are saying, but I trust you have a just heart as you have rescued one of my people. However, I can offer assistance, perhaps, if you prove you are capable warriors, as the task you undertake is no small one.
I believe myself and my party will be up to that challenge. We accept any challenge that you wish to issue us.
Recently, our burial chamber beneath the village has manifested a dark spirit in the shape of a dragon. This dragon has tormented the spirits of many Svirfneblin who have been laid to rest there. We have examined the area, and he seems to be bound there, so the village is not currently in danger. But I wish to see the spirits of my people relieved of their current torment. You can do this, you prove to me you are worth it, and you will have a friend of the Svirfneblin.
It just so happens that we are looking for a shadow dragon as well. I believe my party would be very interested to hear about this, and we would be happy to take care of this for you.
Killing two sturge with one rock, as it were.
So it seems.
Well, if you are to do this, we will provide you with the aid that we can. As you may or may not have seen, we are not a warrior people, but we are experts at brewing and concocting various potions and poultices. I could perhaps give you one warrior of our people, but we only have two. One must stay to defend us. Before you meet any of them, though, the task is before you. I can point you in the direction of our burial ground. And if you prove yourself worthy, you may meet my people.
That sounds fair to me. Let me meet with my party now, and we'll set out to take care of this dragon.
know that you may find rest and solace here for a brief moment if you require rest, but you are not allowed to stay for long unless the task is completed.
I understand. Thank you for the information you've been able to provide so far. Let us take care of this for you.
Okay. She kind of nods and goes back to what she was fiddling with as you entered. Belwar exits the chamber with you guys, or with you as you head back to the party. It seems like he's gonna sit around and listen in.
So I'll exit the tent and then meet with our group and explain anything that they might not have been filled in on. But it seems that one of our objectives is right in front of us.
I might as well take care of that.
I agree. I
What
know that we needed something from the Shadow Dragon, I believe, for the Mercenaries Guild that some of us joined.
What exactly was it? Eggs or something?
We needed 3 vials of essence.
Oh, that's what it
Mhm.
was. Yeah. I'm
Do we
looking for
have
vials.
vials?
I mean, sort of. If we don't have any empty ones, I mean, I can pour out some of these poison vials I have, and that'd give us some. I'd rather
You
not do that
said
if we
that they were good potion people, right? Maybe we'd be able to get some from a villager.
I'm sure if we don't have any extra vials, we could get a few without any hesitation. I'll go ask Belwar about it right now.
I am right here.
I never left.
He's really good. I didn't even see him come.
I blend
So
in.
Belwar, could you would you be able to provide us with just a few empty vials for our journey?
One moment, I will visit our master alchemist while you discuss with your party. Please continue. I shall return. Wanders off.
Do you guys think? Can you think of anything else we might need before we go to this bound shadow dragon?
Do we even have much information on dragons, no less whatever this one is? Do you have any idea what to expect?
You know, that's a fair question. I might have been a bit overconfident in accepting this mission in the first place.
And also, what is a dragon?
Maybe it's like a female dragon, and it's sleeping, and we can just like milk it. Is that what we need?
I'm not sure that's the essence we're looking for.
Oh, okay.
You can milk dragons?
Make a
I'm
hell
not
of a
so
cheese.
sure, Rain. Don't write that one down yet.
Yeah.
You see Rain, like, this entire conversation's been in his journal, and then you see him starting to like, cross something out.
Dragon cheese.
Yeah.
Wait. See the
Sounds like a good
picture of cheese and then question mark by a dragon picture that's not even close to what a dragon looks like.
special market. Shadow dragon cheese.
Alright, I'm convinced we can go now.
exotic market.
Belwar returns with 5 glass vials. Hands Steve. This should do, yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I think
wish
we'll
you
make
luck.
our preparations to address this problem immediately.
Actually, talking about preparations, maybe you know if anyone has let me find what it's called. A gilded acorn.
A posted picture of the mushroom gardens. Chat.
Nice.
Oh, fancy.
Without the blessing of Amkarti, I do not know if we would be able to assist you. I have helped you all that I can.
Okay.
If you succeed, this is perhaps a discussion we can.
Does anyone else have any preparations they'd like to make before we pursue this?
Nope.
All right.
Not to think of.
Well, unfortunately, I have preparations I need to make, so we have to end the session here. Or I did not expect you guys to swerve this direction, so I have no shadow dragon yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that
You're-
happens sometimes.
yep. You're hoping we go different path.
Last I heard, you guys were gonna keep turning left. Then you went right the whole day.
Hey, that was my plan until Muck Muck said that if we tried to travel one direction, that we might just end up going in circles.
Nah, it's cool.
Yep.
I
He
respect.
expected us to go into the mouth of the worm, and instead we went through the butt.
You might be in the worm right now. You don't even know.
Oh my god, it was all an illusion.
Yeah, mostly I don't have battle map and stuff, so I cannot. I feel bad, but it's the
Don't
way
feel
it
bad.
goes.
I mean, if you want and you have time and people want to, we could always try to explore a different direction. But I also don't have any objection with just ending now and then next session getting straight into it.
Just rewind the game, reload the save.
Mhm.
Go back like 3 hours.
As you go towards the shadow dragon, purple worm returns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not ready to fight a purple worm at our level.
Nope, he only rolled 235 HP though. That's not too bad.
Yeah, but he hits for like
1,000,000.
235 HP.
no, he doesn't hit that much. He hits for at least I want to say like 30 to 50.
Oh, you know, his average attack is still really high.
I'll tell ya. Oh, it's not that much, but
Yeah, that's
It's
like half our health.
it's a DC
Plus-
19
Oh
poison.
yeah, but look at the poison damage.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you forgot that little piece.
You forgot the part that insta kills us. Also, I would almost go down with just his piercing. I would instantly die by that attack.
That's interesting because I believe I remember reading some class or something has immunity to poison, so that'd make it a lot less dangerous.
I think monks can get it, maybe, or barbarians or
Maybe.
something.